King Arthur has nothing on us. We're going around and around.
The west coast of Orange County, California. From the Pacific perspective to the Atlantic perspective. From liberal craziness to conservative idealism. From Christianity to atheism belief systems. Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable with Rectify and Wingman at Revolution Radio. FreedomSlips.com.
Revolution-radio.com.
What's up, all the good peeps of Revolution Radio? This is Rectify. You are listening to the TheGrayZone Roundtable. Get in here, 347-688-2902, 347-688-2902, right off the bat. And I got my Wingman on the line with me. How you doing, Wingman?
Yeah, I just had a really strange freaking Jacob's Ladder dream, and I was like quite intrigued by it. So I was just trying
Tell
to
us about it, man.
It was weird. I felt like I was going around like an old haunt, and it was like a boarding school kind of haunt, and in one of the rooms. It was really weird, like kind of hellish, you know, and there was like racks and racks of these dogs being grown for their meat, and they were still alive, and it was like really horrible. And then I comes across the character that was responsible for it all. And I'm having it right.
Look like, was it Satan?
No, it was a bald guy, right? A bald guy.
Banker.
Just a bald-headed guy, and he stamps this. I know what he did. He kind of stamped my arm, right, which is a bit of a strange thing to do. And I think it was like a drug or something he gave me, and like his head started spinning and stuff. It was really horrible.
Wow. And you wanted to stay in bed because of that?
Well, kind of. And I was having a right go and said, "You inhumane so and so," and he was just laughing at me.
Right on. Well, let's get down to some brass tacks here and give a shout out to Noreen at Wild at Heart Roundtable that preceded us. She comes on Tuesdays at midnight Eastern. Awesome roundtable. Also, our YouTube channels, that's plural. We have our own that we archive because the roundtables are not archived. But we archive ours, and that is the TheGrayZone Radio at YouTube. We have Free Revolution Radio for all the rest, and then the newest is Talk Revolution Radio, which is a lot better format. You can actually find your hosts nice and organized there in a list. So that's that. We are listener supported, 100%, no corporate ties. Visit us at freedomslips.com and click on that donate button. We've got seed deals for, doing your own gardening. We've got all kinds of just different coffee mugs and T-shirts and, all the regular stuff like a band would run around with. There's even music I bet you can find. So, yeah. How's the weather over in Great Britain?
Well, today the weather in the UK, we got sunny skies and moderate wind, and there's a little bit of fun in the air as a result of that.
Right on. Yeah, it's been pretty warm here too. It's been low 80s Fahrenheit.
I've been trying to make the most of it and go out fishing because I like a few hours out there trying to catch something, but all I catch is a breeze on my face.
And a sunburn.
Yeah, and a little sunburn. But I'm trying. I'm a bit worried because I've got my fishing rods, and part of the reason I've got them is as a survival, part of my survival kit, obviously. And I'm a bit concerned if the SHIT hit the fan, then how the hell am I going to survive? Like, I'm not going to be able to catch fish because in the last month I've not caught anything apart from these things called dogfish, which look like mini sharks. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that, so I've got to step up my game a little bit on that front.
It might not be you, man. The environment is getting pretty bad.
Well, no one's catching anything this month. Like, no one's caught anything, and it's like, it's unheard of, so something's going on.
Yeah, I actually have an article on that. Let's see if I can't pull that up. West Coast sea life dying. Marine mystery in California. Toxic outbreak threatening marine life. Birds falling from the sky. Sea lions convulsing. Worst they've ever seen. Toxin hits record level, almost 1,000% above government limit. Heart lesions, severe shrinking in parts of their brains, nervous system failure. Santa Cruz, May 2nd, 2014. State health warnings over shellfish, anchovies, and sardines are heightening a marine mystery. What's behind a toxic outbreak threatening the marine life? Researchers in the relatively new area of study say the problem is the worst they've ever seen. Though the toxin has always been part of the ecosystem, the threat appears to be growing. See, they don't even tell you what the toxin is. I don't buy this. And they even say it's new researchers, a new type of research going on. And they say toxic outbreak, and then they say toxin has always been around, part of the ecosystem, but the threat appears to be growing. Results of highest ever. Sea lions affected by here it is. Domoic acid show a severely shrunken hippocampus and lesions on the hearts and brains. The mystery behind why and when it happens remains largely unsolved. I don't know. I still think it's radiation.
Yeah, I remember another study, again on the West Coast. Excuse me.
Yeah, 425, if you can just mute up for a minute, we'll get you.
Yeah, how you doing? Am I on?
Yeah, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just hear you rattling off stories about the ocean. You're rattling off the death in the ocean, the shellfish and the, I don't know, what they're bleeding from.
What's your name, 425?
Brian.
Brian, all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not one to, I don't know if I'm a real good judge of character. I think that kind of information should lead to a less contented, a less gleeful demeanor. I mean, for me, like when I think about that kind of thing, I think about this kind of thing. It's actually, I feel that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
in certain communities of people, it's kind of frowned upon to be depressed. It's like, oh, you're depressed, well, you can't come around. Well, actually, if you really are, in a sense, one, or if you have let me see, put it this way. If you have this condition where you have an empathic sense, okay, oh, yes, I feel what you feel, or I know exactly what you're going through, and if it is universal or global, then you can sense, oh my gosh, this is not a happy situation. This is not time to celebrate. This is time to find something to do. And it's like I can't find anyone that will give me the time of day. And they're all on some other topic and talking about something completely different. And this is not a celebratory event, genocide or I don't know, whatever people's religious or whatever training and whatever, I don't know what the apocalyptic thing has gotten into people to where they think this is some kind of positive thing. Maybe I think in the sense it's one of those feelings like when you have a snow day. It's like I think when you're a kid and you're in junior high, it's like it snows. It's like we get off. I think it's more that kind of thing. You hit it
right on the button right there because that's exactly how I see it. It's winter time in the grand cycle of the entire universe.
Well, no, okay, well,
you gotta have to plant seed.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
Okay. Yeah, except in this case, there's something that can be done. But it isn't necessarily. Yeah, it's a grand cycle, but it is avoidable, and there is something you can do. Yeah. Okay, so we say there's spring, summer, winter, fall. And yes, things come back in spring, things grow back. But it's like, yeah, it is winter time, and there are things we can do. It's like, we will die. We have to survive this winter. You know, if it is nuclear winter or an oceanic death, you know, it isn't something we should just sit by and allow to happen. I don't believe. If there are things we can do, that's what I think is the big problem. Oh, well, it's another season. This is the season, Kali Yuga. You know, this is the Kali Yuga, the season where, you know, women or, you know, people eat their children, blah, 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 and people cannibalize.
That comes from, man.
You know, people chop each other's heads off. Well, that's just this time of the,
that's,
you know, that's
a little out there, bro,
that's a reason for the season, you know, ha, 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 you know.
No,
I don't know. I
that's
don't have the same fight. I don't have the same fight attitude about it.
Wingman. Sorry about that.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we get some of those sometimes.
Well, that guy, I think he's been having a lot of coffee or something. He was like talking like about 50 words a second. Yeah, that was very unusual. But he sounded like one of those old movies, you know. He reminded me of like a news reporter in one of those old movies or something. He's just like, I don't know, he's got that old style accent about it with the crackle in the background.
He starts talking about heads being cut off in a season for that. That was it. I had to cut that.
Yeah, definitely.
You hear about the photo talking about something about like Lucifer gave birth to Jesus?
What?
Crap of that? Yeah, I heard. I don't know if I dreamt it or I read it. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Oh yeah, you gotta find out about that
Yeah.
one. So, one of the things that made me laugh yesterday was, you know, not Genghis Khan, but you know that Korean song. How did it go? Gangnam Style. That's it. Gangnam Style. That song, that atrocious, embarrassing tripe of a song, is hit the most hits on YouTube ever, like 2 billion hits on YouTube. Which for the human race, I'm sorry, but it's embarrassing that that's the most popular video.
I don't even know what Gangman is. Is that kind of like that zoom modem sound, like the old analog modem?
No, it's this short little Korean chap with some pretty Korean girls around him singing Gangnam Style. That's a song. It's a really famous, like, corny, horrible song called Gangnam Style, and you need to watch it. But actually, yeah, if you watch it, it'd be 2,000,000,001. So there you go.
Oh, you've been joined by another caller, 775. You're on the air. What's your name?
Gary.
Where are you calling from, Gary?
Reno.
What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, I was just wondering, are you a computer guy?
I used to be. I kind of retired.
Oh,
but yeah, I mean, I still do have the skill set.
I just wondered if you do like consulting, anything like that.
Yeah, go ahead and let's see how we can do this. I don't like giving out information on the air.
Okay.
I'll take down your phone number here, if that's okay with you, and I can give you a call sometime, during business hours, and we can work something out.
Okay.
What do you got going on with your machine?
Pardon?
What do you got going on with your machine?
Well, I got several problems, and so I was wanting to see if I could contract with somebody to give me a hand with it. And I know that you have said something about you doing computer stuff, so I just wondered whether you were more a computer guy or a network infrastructure type guy.
All around. I've done it all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. I just don't touch an apple, so, keep me away from that forbidden fruit.
Oh, God, I used to work for Apple a while back, and I think they're great, but I don't have one now. So.
Too simple for me. Like, you can't stretch it out enough. Not enough to play with.
Oh, okay.
It turned me off right away when I was young, when I noticed there was only one button on the mouse. So what else is on your mind? Have you been listening to the show?
I have, yeah.
Anything to say about environmental disasters we're going through?
Oh, gosh. I'm just sort of watching what's going on. It's just there's so many people with so many different theories, and there's just so much disinformation going on from the government. It's just hard to really figure out what's going on exactly, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. You ever listen to Taro03? He comes on a couple different shows every once in a while. He's the Black Star Taro.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of respect for his theories and his what can I say?
His science is good, yeah.
His science is good, yeah. It seems to me. So I do follow him, yeah.
It's not very scary, though. I mean, it's like we can go and get hit by a frickin' car tomorrow, so why be scared of something that we're all going to go together with, you know? What more comfortable way?
Well, that's true, and he was, figured he had the trajectory of his Black Star pretty well nailed down, and so just recently it's not behaving like he predicted, so he's got to watch it some more to revise his models.
Now, how would we feel if tomorrow we heard that Taro was no longer with us? Would we all give more credence to his theories, or will we dismiss them?
I would say give more credence to it.
Yeah, that's what I think, too. I think that's why he's still around, because he goes really public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known people that were very brilliant, and they kept their mouths shut in the public forum, and, you know, whether they be an inventor or what have you, it was stolen from them because they didn't lay down the breadcrumbs. So it's always good when you go into a cave, you want to, tie a string and carry that roll with you so you can find your way out, and also there's a trail, you got your markings. So if you're a whistleblower, it's best to put out as much information as in many forums possible if you're going to release something. You don't just want to do it one little tiny drop somewhere, because you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, I feel that's absolutely true. Yeah, you got to get it out there in as many venues and as quickly as possible.
That's right. I've had patents stolen from me. Well, patents in the workings stolen from me from Sharper Image. But yeah, they went out of business, I heard. So, woohoo!
Yeah.
Check this out. Google spending $1 billion on satellites to cover the Earth with Wi-Fi. Wall Street Journal is reporting that Google plans to spend over $1 billion on a fleet of satellites that will be used to provide internet to parts of the world that currently lack digital connections. According to the people familiar with the project, quote unquote, Google will use 180 small, high-capacity satellites that will orbit the Earth at low altitudes. Led by Greg Weiler, who set up satellite startup O3B Networks Limited, Google has been on a hiring spree to recruit engineers from satellite company Space Systems. Laurel, LLC, claims the Journal. Now, if the report is accurate, Wooler's headed up a team between 10 and 20 people, ultimately reporting to Larry Page. The project is scooped to provide internet to areas around the world without wired connections, and costs between $1 billion to more than $3 billion, depending on the network's final design and size. Journal claims that a later phase could double the number of satellites. Aside from organizational details, information about the project remains scant. But it's not Google's only drive to deliver internet from the skies. It's already running tests with internet-providing balloons, and it's brought a drone company to cover the world in Wi-Fi, too. Go Google. And they got, 3 barges out in international waters that could be prison ships for all we know?
Maybe the motherships, the aliens in the motherships are complaining their Wi-Fi signal's not strong enough. Could be.
Man, that's just...
I mean,
more
aliens,
radiation, really? We really need more radiation?
aliens need Wi-Fi too.
Maybe the aliens need a radioactive environment to exist.
But have you seen the film Gravity yet? Imagine when that happens, when you get the debris hit, satellites collide, and then you get all the debris hitting another satellite, then more debris. That's bound to happen one day, you know. It's not unforeseeable.
Yeah, it is.
And then we'll be back in the dark ages, no telecommunications, and
life will probably be actually better. If you don't know any better, it'll probably be a better life.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you're born without iPhones and stuff, you don't know any better, like, you go out and actually play still. You know, you pick up a ball or throw a rock and climb a tree.
Can you just imagine the emergence of that? So suddenly there's nothing happening on the iPhones, and then people start looking up and noticing one another.
Oh, that's called the constellation up there, Johnny.
Yeah. Wow, the sky's blue. I didn't know.
Right.
You know.
Let me give out our number again. This round table is getting weak. Come on, people. 347-688-2902. 347-688-2902, or you can Skype Freedom Screen. And I wanted to thank Seth, Michael, and my Wingman for taking over the reins on the Gray Zone last week. I was down and out. I heard it was great. I heard Seth even made an intro for us.
Yeah, it was good. There was a good line he said. It's not black, it's not white, it's the bit in between or something like that. It was quite a good little comment.
Right on. I'm going to have to get that off of him.
Yeah. Hey, I got a story here. This is a bit of a mind blower, but here we go. Bartow in Florida, a 16-year-old girl was arrested and expelled from school after she was demonstrating the traditional erupting volcano in class as a science experiment. Kira Wilmot's volcano was designed to demonstrate a chemical reaction simulating a volcanic eruption. Inside her volcano prop was an 8-ounce water bottle with some toilet bowl cleaner in it. When the cleaner is exposed to aluminium, it creates an exothermic chemical reaction. Her experiment got her into trouble in April 29, 2013. When I put the aluminium foil in the bottle, the lid popped off a little bit and a bit of smoke climbed out of the bottle, Kira described. No one was hurt, no damage was caused, no harm was done. The principal asked what was going on, and I told him it was just a science experiment. Kira continued. She was pulled out of class and led to the office by a school resource officer. They didn't read me my rights, Kira said. They arrested me after sitting in the office for a couple of minutes.
She got 2 felonies.
Yeah, they handcuffed me, cut my wrist, really hurt. She was charged with possession, discharge of a weapon on school grounds, and discharge of a destructive device, both felonies. Pretty serious stuff, really. Despite the principal conceding that it was obvious that she meant no harm, she was expelled anyway. So, she didn't mean any harm, but we'll expel her anyway. And they sent out a letter that reads as follows. Anytime a student makes a bad choice, it is disappointing to us. In other words, thinks for themselves and comes up with something clever. Thinks outside of the box, probably. Unfortunately, the incident that occurred at Barrow High School, Bartow High School yesterday, was a serious breach of conduct. In order to maintain a safe and orderly learning environment, we simply must uphold our code of conduct rules. We must enforce the law. We urge our parents to join us in conveying the message that there are consequences to actions so generic, so general. We will not compromise the safety and security of our students and staff. I mean, mate, madness, utter madness.
Yeah, I got another one that kind of combats with that one. Dad goes to jail for 4-year-old daughter's drawing. This is from Russia Today. It was a kindergarten class piece of art that Jesse Sansone probably won't want to hang on the refrigerator anytime soon. After Jesse Sansone's 4-year-old daughter drew a picture of a gun, cops handcuffed the clueless father and dragged him off to jail. It was there that the dad was stripped of his clothes and searched by the authorities. Sansone was never charged with the crime. Sansone wasn't expecting to be greeted by police when he went to pick up his 3 children from school last week. Faculty there had become concerned, however, after the man's 4-year-old daughter drew an image last Wednesday that they thought warranted investigation. It was a picture of a man holding a gun, and when teachers asked the girl to explain it, she says it was a depiction of her father. He uses it to shoot bad guys and monsters, teachers say, the girl explained. The father says he doesn't own a gun, nor does he kill monsters. I'm picking up my kids, and then the next thing you know, I'm locked up. Sansone 26 tells the Record out of Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. I was in shock. This is completely insane. My daughter drew a gun on a piece of paper at school, he says. Wow. So, yeah, Canada, you guys are screwed, too, just like the U.S. Don't be depicting guns.
Wow.
How dare you, terrorists?
You know, I'm starting to sense a little pattern, and this story is another. I've got another story that's probably an indicator of that. But I'm starting to get the impression that people are getting scared of being pulled over by police or questioned by police, and they're starting to react, like, you know, unpredictably. In other words, like flee the scene. Here's a typical one. Very unusual, but a bit mad. Again, the mad hour, you could call it. School district officials in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I guess, have placed one of the district officers on paid leave, in quotes there, after he fired his gun at a vehicle containing a pair of teenagers who made off after making out. The shooting incident happened over the weekend in a parking lot of Elliott Elementary School. The unidentified school cop fired at the back of the vehicle as the 17-year-old driver was fleeing the scene. The kids in the car were probably doing something they shouldn't have been doing, Tulsa police spokesman said. Sensing trouble, oh yes, serious trouble, the school cop approached the vehicle to find out what was happening. Instead of answering the cop's questions, because he's probably seen all the YouTube videos, the driver fled. The school cop said he felt jeopardized by the fact that a confused kid in the midst of a face-sucking session drove away from him. In other words, the cop never used to get any when he was a kid. So that's probably why he responded as he did. You know, madness, firing at a kid for making out in a parking lot, you know. What's happening? But, you know,
if it was two guys, it might have been acceptable. That's the world we're moving into. I hate to say it. You know, no hatred against people that are homos or what have you. You know, keep it in your bedroom, and that's fine. But that's where, you know, it's publicly being pushed as the most acceptable thing. And that's the same as, like, the persecution of Christians that's starting to happen everywhere.
It's got here, school district officials noted, whatever that means, that no one is supposed to make out on school property or enter school property outside of school hours. Oh, my Lord. This is like, you know, Matt, the rules are getting, it's just, I love it that we're called the grey zone, because things are getting so grey as to enter the realm of the twilight zone, when no one quite knows what the rules are and anything goes, you know?
Right. We've been joined by the host of Wild at Heart.
Hey.
Helpend.
Hey, Vino Rectify,
Hello.
sorry. Hey, Wingman. Hi, everyone. I would have been on a little bit sooner, but I had to run and, you know, because I've been on the station since like around 6:30 or 7 tonight, and I had
You're
to run.
a trooper, right on.
Yeah, I had to. Well, I produced, and then I did my own, and I had to run and get something to eat in the next room. So, hey, what were you guys talking about? I did miss a little bit.
Oh, man.
The twilight zone, madness, the grey area. The grey zone.
Well, that sounds exciting. Madness sounds exciting.
We're talking, we had Brian call in, who was pretty mad.
Oh, really? I missed a drama thing here?
Yeah, he was going
I
off
did?
like a methamphetamine addict. He started talking about kids' heads being cut off during certain seasons and stuff, so I dropped him. And then we got a little bit into the madness of, you know, children being given double felonies for doing a volcano science project at school.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not shocked, though, but screwed up. That's for sure.
Right. And then a father being arrested for his 4-year-old daughter in kindergarten drawing a man with a gun in Canada.
Oh, my gosh. Well, did you hear the story of the 5 or 6-year-old? I think it was back on the East Coast here of the United States, and he tried to kiss another little girl, right? And then I think he got arrested for sexual harassment, something funky. Yeah.
It's outrageous. It used to be cooties, you know, but now it's like felonies.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's a good, like, From cooties, hey, write a book, Rectify, from cooties to felony.
The decline of the North American continents.
Oh, that's nuts.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, let me give out the number again. 347-688-2902. Get in here. This is a round table. Making me all look bad. I know I wasn't here last week.
Hey, I know. I agree. I concur. I think I caught when you were talking about the weather. That was cool because, yeah, we had a nice day today, didn't we? We did.
We did. It was warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had the fan blowing. Always like the fan blowing when you're taking a nap or, you know, good times.
Cooking or something,
There's no chemtrails either, really. I mean, it was a little foggy early, but yeah.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I did catch one or two because I happened to be driving towards Long Beach today, and I did see some,
South was pretty clear. Maybe it was because the wind was blowing that way.
Okay. So, Wingman, what's up?
Oh, I'm just scouring the news. Here's another good one. As soon as we're on the subject of the Twilight Zone. This is a police officer feared for his safety as he was approached by a barking puppy. And he shot the puppy, yeah. A spokesperson said, everyone here loves animals. It's the last thing we'd want to do. But
Must have been a Muslim puppy.
We had to protect ourselves. Showwater, the owner of the puppy, refuted the officer's claim that the puppy was dangerous, saying the dog had no history of violence whatsoever. Of course not. It's a bloody puppy. Well, they're kind of violent puppies. They can be. Their bite's pretty, severe, but not. Anyway, he wasn't the protector of the house dog either. He was just a great and loved everybody type of dog. Although the police said the shooting was strictly based on officer safety, Showwater says the owner of the dog says the officer had a different explanation on the scene. I asked him why, and he did it there and then. He said because he was in our way. The owner explained. Incredibly, officers then arrested the owner of the dog, accusing him of interfering with police on his own property. So not only
the dog was resisting arrest.
Not only the police and the puppy resisting arrest, and the puppy was executed for that. But the owner of the puppy was then arrested for getting in the way of them shooting the police dog.
It's like they arrest people these days for resisting arrest when there was never an arrest charge to begin with.
Yeah. You have an offensive
and they get away with stuff.
You have an offensive puppy, sir. We're going to have to shoot it. Sorry, it's in our way. I mean, that's basically what was happening there. And then we're going to arrest you just to make it look good that we're puppy killers. So now police are officially puppy killers, or some of them anyway. Because I do know there are... Still one. Well, hopefully there's still one or two good ones.
You guys remember that military video from Iraq where the soldiers were throwing the puppy off the bridge, right? Down into that chasm.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, I mean I kind of think this is worse because.
Well, that's the kind of people that are coming back to become the police.
Well, any sort of puppy murder is pretty awful in any way.
I'm so sorry, Wingman, but I'm imagining. Like, I don't think this dog. I forgot what breed you said it was, but I'm imagining in a scenario like a cute little dachshund type of dog, and then a police gets threatened by this poor little dachshund, and the dachshund is just barking like an innocent, and then all of a sudden the cop freaks out and shoots it, and I'm thinking, oh my God.
It's a kick-me dog, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dogs do tend to bark, let's face it. And unless a dog is really, I mean, a dog, I don't know what's going on. They must be stupid or something, because if a dog is its teeth, when a dog is angry and is about to bite you, it growls and it gives you a warning most of the time that it's going to bite you unless you back off kind of thing. So even then, you've still got an opportunity to back off unless it lunges for you. So, and it seems as though all these, I don't know where all the checkpoints have gone, with regards to, okay, there's a gentleman there now. He's putting his hand in his pocket, but he's not aiming anything at me yet. But I'll just shoot him before he takes his hand out of his pocket, just in case.
It's the cowardly way to go.
Yeah, and there was, I remember seeing another one where the guy actually had his hands up in the air and he was executed as well. But who's calling up the police station? Who's saying, if I demand that something happens, is this happening?
You want them knocking on your door?
Well, this is the threats being escalated.
They're gangsters, man.
Yeah, but that shouldn't prevent people from rising up against these kind of atrocities.
But we got to do it in numbers. We can't be singular about it because then we're just going to be targeted individuals.
Are you saying that? They got you that scared over there?
Not scared. It's a fact, man. The biggest gang in the world is the LAPD.
Never back down, mate. Never back down. You cannot fear. If you start to fear actually acting upon these injustices, then you lost the game. You know. You can't fear.
No, I use my mind, and I use my mouth, and I use my words, and I use my wisdom and my knowledge, and I stick up and stand for my rights and declare them. And but yeah, man, it's always a real touchy situation when you got to deal with these thugs.
Yeah, but you just told me you're scared to stand up for your rights.
I didn't say I was scared. I said they're the biggest gang.
Yeah.
You go in there by yourself and start spitting. You want to write a complaint report. See what happens. They're going to ask for your ID. Where you live, son.
I mean, I think it's, I don't know, what do you do, though? What do you do? I mean, taking on the police force or a police station or, an office with regards to not being... I think the problem is, I need to find out, what it's, how, with regards to when an officer does commit an offence or something, like that, that the investigation committee, it should be like a jury, it should be non-internal. But I get the feeling it is internal, and it's obviously internal for a reason, paid leave, etc., etc. But that needs to change. That needs to be a public thing. It needs to be public people that review any infringements that the police make and act accordingly. And even to some extent, throw them in jail if it was that much out of line of line of duty, outside of jurisdiction of the law or whatever you want to call it. But how do you go about doing that?
So much, it's so unbalanced right now that unless we had the mass majority, there's not going to be a shift. It's just going to get worse.
But I wouldn't know how you go about it, to be honest. And sometimes when I look at America from one of the Google satellites floating around in the upper atmosphere there, America's so dispersed, and I think that is part of the problem. Here in the UK, it's quite easy for us to get together and protest against the other because it's such a small, it fits into Texas, kind of all of the UK. And England would fit into a quarter of Texas, like, itself, as opposed to all the other bits and bobs that surround England. But yeah, so it's easier for us to get together and protest, and so on and so forth. But over there, everything's so spread out. Everything's so spread out. So you have one central core government in one little locality, and the rest of America is just like this vast array. So for people to get together is a lot more tougher over there.
No, it is. It really is. That's true.
I'm not sure how you get around that, really. And I'm obviously not the only one. Otherwise, if there was a quick solution to all this madness and this just ongoing freaking, then I'm sure it would have come out. But it's a Pandora's box, and it is like a puzzle, and it's not hard to work out because there's so many fires. You've got the police there, the legal system over there, the corrupt judges over there, corrupt politicians over there, the lobbyists over there doing what they can to corrupt the politicians over there. You've got the corporate CEOs, the fat cats as they call them.
All right, let's get really gray now. Remember I brought up the Pope saying that Lucifer or Christ was the son of Lucifer?
Did you find the story?
Yeah, let me play a clip and then I'll give the English translation as it goes. Here we go.
Supernis luminaribus miseatur.
This is Pope Francis, by the way. And what he's singing is, here, let me go ahead and go a little further.
Flamaseus.
It's a song called Excultate. And it's, he says it now will be part of the daily Catholic Mass and is obligatory to sing for all Catholics.
Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille in quam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
Creepy. Okay, in English, he says, Flaming Lucifer finds mankind. I say, O Lucifer, who will never be defeated, Christ is your son, who came back from hell, shed his peaceful light, and is alive, and reigns in the world without end. So, yeah, that's the translation. It's kind of freaky.
See, if they're singing in Latin, they can pretty much say what they want, really. And everyone will say, oh yeah, okay, amen. You know what I mean? We are going to kill you slowly but surely. Amen. Yeah, I mean, what? You know? It's like, we are going to continue giving your money. We will use it against you. You know, they could be saying it.
It's kind of English language works here in America.
That's worrying that they're saying that, and I'm never going to reply to anything in Latin again. I hate listening to languages, like especially Latin, with people saying that. It's like sometimes if I'm watching, what was that I was watching? The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves, and then there's a scene in there where Keanu's character was going to make out with his half sister and produce a kind of spawn of whatever, and so Al Pacino's character starts singing in this. Starts saying this Latin stuff, and I was like, I don't want to hear it. It might be something really nasty. Yeah, I just don't like hearing stuff I don't understand because you never know what's going on.
It is freaky. It's like walking into an institution. It just gives you the willies.
Yeah, Al Pacino's very good in that film. I do recommend it. He just plays the devil quite well.
Gary, he's still with us. Going once, Gary. Twice, Gary. 3 times, Gary's a charm. Okay, I'll leave him on the line. He's probably just muted. But, yeah, I've got another one, which I'm kind of celebratory about. I'm actually kind of excited. Yahoo will reportedly launch a YouTube rival this summer. So screw YouTube. Finally, we're going to have another choice.
All people will do is copy their YouTube videos over to that platform as well. So
right. Yahoo is reportedly unveiling a YouTube rival this summer. Yahoo's service will offer more generous revenue-sharing deals for creators, Ad Age reports. Google's YouTube takes 45% of ad revenue, but Yahoo is expected to offer a split that tips more in the favor of the creators. Yahoo intended to unveil the new service in April, but contract issues ultimately delayed the launch. One point of the contention was around content ownership. Early drafts of the contract gave a video's ownership rights to Yahoo. Similar to YouTube, Yahoo video creators will be able to have their own channels. Yahoo's video player will also be embedded on other sites. Those Yahoo creators who sign a contract will also get a publishing dashboard so that they can distribute across Yahoo properties like its homepage as well as blogging service Tumblr. So that's kind of cool. We need competition because Google's like taking over the world.
You know why they work, don't you? You know why Google was so successful? And it's very, very simple.
Tell me.
Because of all the search engines, it was just a search box and no rubbish all around it. Every other search engine was trying to hit you with this ad for that and that news and fun and blah. And Google was just, boop, a little search box. And that's why they were so successful.
Yeah, also because the CIA basically funded them. CIA runs Google. Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Makes you wonder, you know, because it must have taken a lot of intelligence to get I mean, they were they were there. The internet was there, and then the search engines were there as well. It's like, how did they catch up so quickly? How did they get up to speed so quickly with regards to a global search engine? I mean, that takes time, no?
ARPANET was military before it became the internet for the public use. And that, supposedly goes back to the 50s even.
Hey, a girl from Minnesota here was paid $70,000 in damages because she was forced to give up her Facebook password as she was thought to be talking about a school teacher badly on social media. So they rifled for all her stuff and forced her to give up her password. And then they weren't impressed, took them to court.
So the teachers are part of the Stasi now too, huh?
Yes.
The Gestapo.
Password. Papers. Yes. I'm talking bad about us, so they punished her.
Yeah, send your kids to these Gestapo camps, everybody. It's a good idea. Work 9 to 5. The money's more worth it.
Yeah, well, if you think out the side of the box and do science experiments that involve a volcano and a bit of smoke gets out, your child will be arrested.
And then when they draw a gun, they're going to come arrest you. So.
Yeah, no making out in the parking lot either.
No hands, no dodgeball, no hugging in the hallways. There's no, we just can't have the cooties spreading, But, boys will be able to hold hands. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's where it's going. That's the breakdown of society. That's the breakdown of family structure, family unit. You degenerize them. You make them into degenerates. You feed them everything through the media, like Married with Children, stupid stuff like that. Then you start bringing in the stupid cartoons, right? It defeats the male, and it brings up the female, like it's the opposite of what God protests, The woman's supposed to stand by the man, listen to her man, right? I mean, not like in an orderly fashion or anything, but she's supposed to, double check with her husband, like, should I do this or not? And like, what society's become is, like, every commercial, every cartoon, every show is doing the opposite. It's making the man look weak and pointless, and the woman's the strong one giving the orders, barking the orders out.
Yeah. I want to concur with you because I'm female, but I agree. What I notice in the media is, women have fought for their rights for a long time, and that's fine. But problem is, it's one thing to have rights, it's one thing to become because of centuries of oppression, I'm going to be a bitch now. And I don't agree with that. That doesn't, two wrongs don't make a right, It doesn't do either gender any good. It doesn't make men or women happier just because, now women can just trot. No, I'm not saying they're, trotting all over. You know what I mean? It doesn't do any good to, try to portray a balance that's, so off balance. You want to be balanced, not one gender is, slapping the other down in any way, It doesn't work that way.
I like what Sean David Morton says. Okay, if you look at your hands right now, just look at the top of your hands and your fingers. A woman will have their index will be longer than their ring or even. A man's index will be shorter than their ring finger, always, okay? That's just something. And Sean David Morton makes me crack up because he says, that's from evolution. He said, that's from generations of women pointing at their man saying, you!
Oh, funny. How funny. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
That's a good one.
Props to you, Sean.
Yeah.
Got another interesting story here. Mind-altering lasers make fruit flies sing and dance. Scientists have created a thermogenetic tool that can alter a fly's mind and make it sing and dance. The scientists found that specific cells were switched on and off immediately with heat of around 30 degrees from the laser. This changed the fly's behavior, which allowed the researchers to analyze the links between the two. The test, called FlyMad, made the flies moonwalk by activating and deactivating certain neurons, and then used the tool to find the neurons responsible for the flight's courtship singing behavior when they activated the laser. So yeah, I mean, scientists probably just saw the fly walk backwards and they said, "Oh, they're moonwalking," but still, it's what do they get up to in these secret laboratories?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Harvard apparently.
Hey, you guys,
Harvard.
I need to just, I'm going to call back in a few because I need to download something. I just wrote in the text box. I'll be right back.
All right, Nori.
All right, okay.
Yes, the moonwalking flies manipulated by lasers now, altered lasers.
Wonderful. What's next? Oh, yeah, Google's putting up satellites to give Wi-Fi to parts of Africa that still live in teepees. Yeah, motherships.
Yeah.
Just like, when I hear about when Bush, we're going to break. We'll get back into drones and motherships and satellites.
I'll make another cup of tea then.
Can you keep me connected so I can tell you my number while the break's going on?
Just go ahead and call back, Gary. Go ahead and call back, Gary.
Radio at freedomslips.com. We'll be right back after this message.
Who owns you? If you're not in control, then someone else is. Join me, Ivy West, for Voices on the Wind, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in Studio A. I discuss government, health, metaphysics, suppressed science, universal mysteries, little-known incredible facts, alternative energies, and even more than you can imagine. Won't you join us on Revolution Radio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Voices on the Wind with me, Ivy West.
There are lives in the balance, people under fire, children at the cannons.
Because if your head's in the sand, your tail is a target.
Hi everybody, it's me, the Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there's Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, the Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
I have worked with the CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets of science and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelly, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hey folks, Captain Nighthawk here. Do you have a favorite host? Well, imagine if you all having all the broadcast shows from 2013 to listen to anytime you want. Awesome deal, huh? Anyway, so stop by freedomslips.com and order the entire 2013 library of your favorite host for just $30. Not only do you help with the station funding to keep us on the air, you also help the host because they get half of the net on every order. Also, we have Revolution Radio's all-time favorite shows all on one disc. The details are really broad, so you'll have to visit the website and go look at the details yourself. It's, again, www.freedomslips.com/season2013.htm. And get your favorites. First come, first serve, 7 to 21 days for delivery. Thank you. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, where information never sleeps, including me. Later.
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all!
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific War Time this morning.
We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago.
Zero quarters, all hands man your battle stations.
Nervous Galaxy Gold. I'll do the mastermind around here.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top.
Well, check it out every Tuesday and Saturday on Revolution Radio. It's a double dose of the internationally recognized renegade military historian Douglas Dietrich.
We'll stay right where you are till I tell you to move out.
Yeah, that's right. Tuesdays from 10 to midnight Eastern Time. Join Douglas Dietrich as he exposes the truth in hidden history on his show Critical Omissions. And then our human weapon of mass destruction is back once again to take your calls on Saturday Night Firing Lines. Both from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
Join Revolution Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Studio B for Momentary Zen with host Zen Garcia at freedomslips.com, the People Station.
Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. No corporate ties, corporate duct tape dictating our freedom of speech. It shall remain that way as long as we are supported by you. Join us, 347-688-2902. Enter the Gray Zone.
G'day peeps, and welcome back to the Gray Zone. This is the part where I try and make you feel guilty. If you have been listening to us for a while and you haven't made a donation yet, then listen to us guilt-free by heading on over to the site. heading over to the homepage and the support us button, and you'll see there's a way to contribute and support the station. Or if you want to subscribe each month, there are several options you can choose to subscribe each month. Send us what you can afford. And like I say, if you haven't given anything before and you've been listening a while, then now's the time to support us, because at the end of the day, we're a damn fine station and we provide you with a lot of information and truth. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, we were talking about things that they're putting in the air to monitor us, like the Google Wi-Fi satellites that they're bringing to the table here.
No.
Oh yeah, not just that, but how about Bush? He signed the whole thing.
Ding dong.
The 30,000 drones, the allowance
Ding
for
dong.
30,000 drones. Oh, can you get the door, Heather, please?
I am the door. Hi, Pete. Come on in.
Hi, Heather. Hi,
Give me a
Becky.
hug. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing? Hi, Wingman.
Hi, Pete. This is where I have to remind you to behave because of your relationship to the host. And I have to say, don't embarrass the host either. And that's one of the rules as well.
I was sitting at iTunes Radio, but I finally decided to call in. But,
Welcome to the Gray Zone.
Yeah.
We're talking about Google, and they're about to throw up a bunch of satellites to cover the world with Wi-Fi access.
Well, that's the third world nations that don't have Wi-Fi.
Well, you don't think there could be some sinister other purposes for this radiation that they're projecting out of their little devices?
You don't think there's radiation coming out of cell phone towers?
Right, and Gwen towers. I believe cell phone towers are multi-purposed also. And I believe the reason they gave the people the high-definition television was not to give them, a better picture. It was so they can use that low frequency to do something more sinister with.
I've heard that a lot of the new TVs have cameras built in, where the NSA can actually see you from your TV.
They're wireless now, the TVs. No wires. I mean, except for maybe your power, but that's it. It's wireless reception, straight from your router. That's how it's rolling. So we're all getting connected closer and closer into the Matrix. But yeah, Bush signed, part of the Patriot Act was to allow 30,000 plus drones in our airspace. And I'm wondering, most people think of a drone as one of them full-blown, almost the size of an airplane type deals. But
yeah, but that's to deliver pizzas, right? That's why.
I've seen mosquito-sized and, hummingbird-sized ones. So, yeah.
You're going to have your pizza soon delivered to you by a quadcopter just hovering above your front porch.
There's an hotel casino in Vegas that you can have a bottle of liquor served to you poolside by a drone, but they charge $20,000 for that.
Well, I bet some mugs have bought it.
They take your picture when it happens? I mean, does it videotape you and email you the video?
Videotape from the air, and they have, I guess, somebody else videotaping it from the ground, too.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, yeah, what do you got that's gray on your mind? We're getting into the deep gray tonight. Pete?
Well, I was listening to the show earlier, and some of the stories just baffled me, like the cop shooting at that couple making out in the parking lot at the elementary school, or the cop that feared for his life over a barking puppy and shot and killed the puppy.
Well, puppies can be threatening.
Behind bars.
Heather, door.
I'm sorry. I tripped.
Come on, I'm getting the snacks ready. You got to do something.
Okay, make some popcorn. Hi, Ro.
Hello.
Welcome, dude. Come kick
My
back.
darling.
Where's the bottle, dude? You can't just come in and where's the wine? Like, I mean, you haven't brought anything.
That's my brother there. Wingman, let me say hello to my brother first. Good to hear you, bud.
My brother.
Hello, Wingman.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, my brother is actually from another mother, my father. So good to see you as well.
All right, no stroking the queen. That's all I got at Warren right now.
Why?
Oh, you can hear me, and I haven't joined the call. I joined the call.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
You're on the air, brother.
Yeah, what's on your mind today, Hyro? You been thinking about anything, as you do?
I've been thinking. Oh, this is not Hyro. I'm thinking about that guy that they get released from the Afghani, rebels over the weekend in exchange for 5 detainees at Guantanamo.
Yeah, they exchanged an American POW for 5 terrorists.
Well, supposedly it's coming out that this guy deserted his post without his rifle and walked away in civilian clothes.
I don't believe that that's true, because I think that dude, he was in his first theater, okay, in the first 2 months that he was there. I don't think that they were trained properly, and that's just a story that's covering up then somebody else just letting him wander.
Then his dad and mother, Rob Bergdahl, and his wife were standing next to Obama at the White House over the weekend, and he's got this beard that looks scruffier than any of the guys on Duck Dynasty, and he actually spoke about 15 seconds in Pashto, which is the native Afghan language, saying something like "Praise to Allah."
The Pope was just saying, that Christ comes from Satan, from Lucifer, and it's going to be like a mandatory prayer song for every Catholic now, daily. So.
And they're saying, the soldiers that work.
That song you were playing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Pope Francis.
Soldiers that work with Bo Bergdahl say he's not a hero, he's a deserter. But why would Obama release a known deserter for 5 terrorists in Guantanamo? I think there's a deeper story. I think he was undercover to infiltrate.
I think it's to let people know, if you think about the ratio of prisoners of war, we probably have 5 of theirs for every one of ours.
We only had one. He was the only one.
Well, all the way around, she's saying.
Yeah, no, I think there's probably more.
Yeah, they got more. I mean, they don't tell us. I mean, the close families know, but the news doesn't tell us the truth.
And the governments have negotiated, prisoner exchanges since the Revolutionary War. But in the last century or so, it's mostly been spies. One spy here per year, spy there. And, not one guy for 5 guys. But
they could be spies and they don't even know they're spies.
I think this guy went undercover. I think it was all planned. I think it was a covert operation. And I think
the Expo or whatever.
Heather and Pete, I want you to fix something for me in my mind. In my mind, I have a problem. In my mind, I cannot understand if somebody doesn't realize they're committing they're doing evil acts. They understand that. But their intention is not evil. They want to do something that they feel is doing for the good. Does that not mean that they're innocent?
I was wondering the same thing today.
Yeah. They would be innocent in that case, I would imagine. If it's in their minds that they're doing something good. Or guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity, maybe.
Wingman, what do you think? You definitely have an idea on that one.
Strange. It's a grey area. Excuse the pun. A little bit, innit? I mean, should you be held accountable for actions where you're committing, you're violating something or breaking the law somewhere and you're not aware of it? Sometimes it's just a case of what you answer to your superiors and that's it. But should you be held accountable when you know those actions, even though you're answering to your superiors, those actions are breaking the law or causing some sort of atrocity?
Well, Obama broke the law by releasing Guantanamo detainees without getting congressional approval. It's U.S. law. They have to request congressional approval 30 days before they can release a detainee from Guantanamo.
Well, he kind of broke the law of truth or trust before he got into office. He said he was going to close down Guantanamo. That was one of the first things he was going to meant to do.
I got a list. Obama, fake birth certificate and adoption by his foreign national stepfather. Obama disbarred from the bar, right? Association. Obama sealed records, hidden past from college. Obama's fake social security numbers. Obama saying in an interview, my Muslim faith. Obama saying America is not a Christian nation. Obama smoking, drugs, and gay sex. Larry Sinclair. Larry Bland, murdered execution style on November 17, 2007. Nate Spencer reportedly died of septicemia, pneumonia, and HIV on December 26, 2007. Donald Young was murdered execution style on December 24, 2007. Obama saying the average family would save $2,500 on their premiums of insurance. He's forcing businesses to violate their religious beliefs by paying for drugs that abort the unborn, violating the rights and sanctity of our churches, spending $634 million on a website that doesn't work. That's Obamacare, everybody, healthcare.gov. Obama calling for an increase in our debt when he lambasted Bush for the very same thing. Obama having NSA spy on 124 billion phone calls in 1 month. Increasing the national debt to $17 trillion, not counting unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicaid. Bailing out automakers in Detroit after decades of corrupt Democratic management. The State Department lying about Benghazi. Voter fraud, national reporting of results now done by foreign companies. Intentionally trying to hurt Americans during the sequester. Blocking veterans from their monuments while letting illegals to use the Monument Mall. Denying school kids the ability to tour the White House but still spending lavishly on his parties. Obama saying we can keep our insurance and our doctors if we wanted to. Another lie. The military not getting their votes counted. The NSA monitoring foreign diplomats. The use of drones in our own country without the benefit of the law. The president arming the Muslim Brotherhood. The IRS targeting conservatives. The Department of Justice spying on the press. Sebelius shaking down health insurance executives. Obama spending $3.7 trillion on welfare over the last 5 years, giving 123 technologies $300 million right after it declared bankruptcy and was sold to the Chinese, giving Solyndra $500 million, and 3 months later they declared bankruptcy, and then the Chinese bought it. The NSA monitoring our phone calls, emails, and everything else. Millions of Americans losing their health care coverage, forcing Americans to include coverage in their insurance policies, ordering the release of nearly 10,000 illegal immigrants from jails and prisons, and falsely blaming the sequester, denying Arizona the right to protect its borders, repeated violation of the law requiring Obama to submit a budget no later than the first Monday in February. The 2012 vote where 115% of all registered voters in some counties voted 100% for Obama. The president's unconstitutional recess appointments in an attempt to circumvent the Senate's advice and consent rule. The Senate Department's interfering with an Inspector General investigation on departmental sexual misconduct. Clinton, the IRS, Clapper, and Holder all lying to Congress. The president using nearly $1 trillion of stimulus money to fund his cronies. Cash for clunkers, $3 billion to destroy older EMP-resistant cars poor people could not fix. Obama's Peace Prize, what a joke. Droning to death numerous countries, peoples, even Americans. He has a kill list. Leaving our troops in Iraq for years. Our troops are still in Afghanistan and now are not feeding them 3 meals a day even. Firing top military leaders, cleaning out the opposition to tyranny, basically. Gitmo was still operating. He's getting rid of the don't ask, don't tell policy, allowing gays to openly serve in the military, and allowing women to serve in active combat frontline roles. Biggest hypocrite I've ever frickin' heard.
Hey, I just want to add to that. I don't know if you guys know about this. It's pretty serious stuff, but Also, from the 1st of July, the Federal Reserve will begin printing all currency without the words "In God We Trust." This modification comes under strict orders from President Obama and his administration. Obama had a press conference recently in which he said, "As our country grows and changes, so must our money. There is now too many individuals," that's not even grammatically correct. "There is now too many individuals living in this great nation of ours that do not worship the same God." I didn't know there was more than one God, but fair enough. "As most of us. In fact, some folks don't even believe in God." Oh my gosh, at all. "The currency adjustment is truly change we can believe in." So now we're meant to believe in, the change aspect of things. Believe in
Hold
change.
on to your change. It's worth more than the paper money.
He's always used this word change. He used that during his campaign, didn't he? For change. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it's something to do with change. This is interesting. As a comment by a journalist, America is a God-fearing Christian nation. It is now and always has been, said 31-year-old Michael Anthony, a journalist with Fox News. Obama is the Antichrist, and this is more proof to support that claim. And another comment here, Mohammed al-Sayed, who is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood Freedom and Justice Party, told CNN he's pleased with Obama and his actions. "I spoke to President Obama by telephone yesterday and personally thanked him and on behalf of the Muslim community," al-Sayed said. "This is definitely a step in the right direction," I explained to him. Praise Allah. It's like... I don't know, this guy, what's he thinking? Seriously? He's messing with, this has been on printed notes, and he comes into the administration, he wants to remove "In God We Trust." Well, who is supposed to trust him? The administration? Is that what he's getting at? In the administration we trust? This is a very, very dangerous ground he's treading on, but he's pushing it forward. Oh, and there's a hotline. Guys, I think we should call the hotline. There's a 24-hour hotline at the Federal Reserve to answer any individual questions. Do you want to call it? Do you see what's going on?
Oh, not now. Now?
Let's give out the number to the burn doctor.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour number. We should go to call it, really. Well, I might call it in a bit to find out what it's about.
And hold on, check this out.
Yeah.
Yes, we can. 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 Yes, we can.
Now we're going to backmask it.
Thank you, say. 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 Thank you, say.
Thank you, Satan. Thank you, Satan. Thank you, Satan.
That's scary, man. That's scary.
That's the backmasking. They use that technique in a lot of music and a lot of politics. Same with neuro-linguistic programming, with the hand movements and stuff.
I tell you what, it's not as crazy as it might sound, because if you think about, Newton's law is it Newton's law, for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction? Well, it could be that the same happens with time. So where you have time going forward, you also have time going backwards. Now, if you do have time going backwards, then of course they're going to understand, and those kind of things are going to be heard by those that are traveling backwards in time. Or, similarly, if something happens on a global universal scale and we go back to singularity, for example, there's nothing saying that the timelines won't go backwards, and so all these things will have an impact and certain things like that, oh, can you still hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah,
we just lost the other.
Okay, so
Oh, sorry, Wingman. All right, I'm sorry I haven't been interrupting you. That's why you feel like you're just speaking. I can hear you, but I'm just not speaking.
Yeah. No, you're getting better at that, Hyro, by the way. Congratulations on that front.
My timing is better, is it?
Your time is much better. It has been noted. And so, but the the fact that the so-called leader of the free world is now messing with this "In God We Trust" part, in addition to that backmasking, in addition to the change that hasn't,
man.
in addition to the change that hasn't been brought into effect, in addition to the promises that haven't manifested, in addition to the little, in real terms, that the individual has done to change individual lives. And the same goes to the politicians over here, don't get me wrong, but obviously, you know, Obama's quite a predominant figure. Just is an indicator that something's amiss, you know, something is majorly amiss. And, you know, a lot more people are starting to think, you know, something's not right here. Mm-hmm. Something's not right here. And this changing currency, removing "In God We Trust," you know, is raising alarm bells. Red flags are going up. I question it.
Yeah. My red flags have been going up since 9/11.
Yeah, but you're a thinker, so that is kind of interesting, because I am finding that people are feeling that even the most... I don't mean to be horrible, but some people are incredibly stupid. They just are. Let's just face it, they are incredibly stupid. But they are seeing that something is amiss. And when they find that something is amiss, that is when I will see the real person come out of the pit. All of them have the same potential. They're all brilliant. I'm no better than anybody else. They're not better than me. That's just how the world works. They're going to be incredible. And if that happens, that must be what the cabal is scared of.
They're scared of us. They're scared of us. You know, if we find our power, individuals that find their power are powerful in themselves. Now, if you get more than one individual together, they become even more powerful. If you get a group together, even more powerful. And then the evil that is happening out there will just run into the shadows, and that's what they fear. Mm-hmm. At the moment, the evil is predominantly, you know, has dominion over this realm. And we are at war. Don't think, you know, this, sometimes you get people say, oh, there is no good and bad. Nonsense. You know, get out of my way kind of thing. Of course there is. And there's been a war, and it's been going on. If you look at ancient art, go to a museum, a decent museum, and look at some of the ancient art, so even some of the religious paintings going back, you'll see, you know, this isn't manifested out of people's heads. There's been a war. It's been going on for some time. And there's an active program to dumb people down, to make you forget that you are powerful beings, to make you forget that you have something special within you, and that you do have potential to become something even more special. And they're trying to make you forget that you have such power. They're trying to make you forget that you can manifest the paranormal aspects of things around you once you find that empowerment. And because of this attack upon your freedoms, you know, like you know the way you de-spirit a horse so that you can jump on it and make it do what you want. Well, the similar thing's happening to the people. They're trying to de-spirit us so that we lose our courage. Once we lose our courage, which is what they ultimately want through the fear of persecution, the constant fear of persecution, then you become easily controllable, and then you become total slaves, total enslavement, that is.
Yes.
And basically, at the moment, we're heading to hell in a handbasket, because everyone's looking at each other saying, what do we do? What do we do? Oh,
Not
I don't know.
but they produce a false famine on you at the same time. They outsource your jobs, and then they give you they offer you the only job that's available, working for them for crap wages. So economically too.
It's all carefully. This is all by careful design. None of it's accidental. It's by careful design. Every branch of this infrastructure, law, medicine, you know, corporate, education, it's all by design. It's not by accident. And the part of that design is ultimate control, and ultimate enslavement. And, you know, Alex Jones has been going on about this for years, you know, and similar people, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, you know...
Let me ask you, other than getting shot or breaking a bone or something, do you go to the hospital?
No, I don't. I prefer not to, no.
Me neither. I don't trust some bastards.
I did actually go. Actually, I did go recently, because I had like a kind of strange chest pain, and I was a bit worried about it. And they hooked me up to this EEG machine, like about 20 sensors all over my body. I thought they were going to steal my soul at one point. But I got a little bit paranoid. Yeah. But no, I can't stress enough, you know, that we are at war. And you know, as a result of that, we have to get tactical. We have to use not just the individual mind, but the collective mind. We have to think collectively, because this is a real problem, and because we've left it so long, it's getting harder and harder to know where the avenues of change are. Proper change, not Obama change. I'm talking about morality change and virtue change and happiness change and innovation change and allowing you to, each and every individual to answer their calling change, and because it's such a big problem, although the solution is actually small, we just need to do something about it, but from the same page. But until we do that, this is going to continue, and so it's not a case of just ignore it, because the longer we ignore it, the more it will backfire. Call it in a kind of karmic way, if you like, although that's not the right word. But it's not something you can put off. It's like the house cleaning. Look at it like the house cleaning. Yeah, you can put off the house cleaning for so long until your house is a mess. And at the moment, our house is a mess, and we need to do something about it. Sorry, that's me done for now. But I'm passionate about it.
You're a systems analyst. You can't possibly have an untidy house. And you know what? I really have to say this: the hospital. You don't go there unless it's really important, and if it's really important, go there. And there is another thing. When I went there, like, I don't know what it's like in America, but I went there in England because I broke my leg 3 years ago, and they have internet over the top. You have internet right in front of you over the bed. So I was checking every time they were giving me something. I was checking out on the internet. And you're not doing that yet. Don't you touch me. Yeah.
What's that, cyanide in that injection? No, let me just say cyanide. Cyanide. No, I don't want any of that, thanks. You can give that to the next bloke.
Well, my family called 911.
Yeah.
When my feet were swollen, and the fire department, EMTs all showed up. All they did was take my blood pressure and said, "Oh, we recommend you go to the hospital." But my blood pressure was normal, and I said, "Hey, man, it's Morgellons, I believe." And they're like, "What's Morgellons?" And they actually had a frickin' tablet with them. They had an iPad, and they're sitting on top of my dresser, touch screening the iPad. I'm all looking up. You got your frickin' device right there. They're all scratching their head. They never heard of Morgellons.
I tell you, I've ended up in a nut house because of a mistake of going to the hospital once. I kid you not. I'll tell you the story. So I was basically what happened, and it was associated with my Kundalini, but I didn't know at the time. And my breathing got shallower over like a few weeks. My breathing got shallower and shallower and shallower as I needed. I guess I didn't need as much oxygen as I once did. But anyway, it got shallow to the extent that I was taking in a tiny cubic inch of air every breath, every 30 seconds. It was crazy. I was hardly breathing.
Is that Wingman? Was that what you needed, or was that painful when you were doing that? Or was that just what you needed? Just needed that?
I just like a little tiny sip of air I was taking every now and again, and I didn't need it. But I got panicky about it. When I started to think about it, I was like, this isn't normal. So I called, it was the whole fucking, the whole day was weird. So I called the
whole flock of EMTs and fire.
I called, fire truck. I called, accident emergency, said what was happening. A fire truck came, right? Gave me, so they gave me some oxygen. The first can of oxygen didn't have any oxygen in, so I took a suck of I don't know what in. That made me paranoid in itself. And then they got some other oxygen, and then they took me to hospital. And I was left wandering the corridors of the hospital while I was waiting to see someone, which is weird. If I just called in as an emergency, you see someone straight away normally. I was wandering the corridors. I was thinking, and bear in mind, my Kundalini was activated. So I was a little bit, kind of what's going on? I don't know what's going on. My energy levels were off the chart. It was very strange. It felt like whilst I was in hospital, it felt like I was in a bubble of energy, a huge bubble of energy, and no one was looking at me. It was all very strange. So I was wandering the corridor, thinking, what's happening? What's going on? So I tried to leave. As soon as I tried to leave, it was bizarre. So I tried to go out the front door, and I was pounced upon by 5 or 6 people. They wrestled me to the ground. They got me on a stretcher, and they injected me with a tranquilizer. Now, right? And the weird thing was, as I was going out, and I remember it's very strange, as I was, you know, going to sleep, as the tranquilizer was kicking in, they were moving me like a tiny bit at a time. It's very strange. It wasn't because I'm sure it wasn't because of the tranquilizer. There was something going on, you know. And it was like they were making a small movement as I was getting, and it was their smile, the way they were smiling, it was jeering. That's the word. They were jeering at me as though it was really sinister. I swear to you. So I wake up, and I've been sectioned. I wake up in a nut house. Well, not a nut. I don't know what you call it over there, but I've got
a 72-hour evaluation.
No, I woke up in a mental institution basically.
Right. Yeah, they do it for 3 days here.
Yeah. No, I was there for 2 weeks, like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All because I tried to
you know what that's because it sounds to me like you have your own opinion, you know your own mind, and they didn't like that. The zombie said, look, you have to have a zombie mind, and that's why they did that to you.
It was weird. I mean, you don't. I mean, all I was doing was trying to leave the hospital, and as soon as I went there under my own, you know, I volunteered to go there in the first place, practically. And then suddenly, 5 people are pouncing on me. They knew what was going on. It was all an attempt to shut down my energy levels.
We got Pete back on the call. He used to be a cop, so 5150 is the code for a crazy. I want to know, Pete, what are some of the, I guess, symptoms that you would declare someone to go into a 72-hour mental evaluation for?
Probably the most common are attempted suicides. That would be the most common one. 5150 of the Welfare and Institutions Code here in California. But I think other states go by their codes.
What would be the next common one?
That's number one. Pete, hang on. Wingman, did you do that one? Did you try attempted suicide whilst you were there?
No, I just called up the emergency services, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, go on, Pete.
They'll force you to suicide.
Okay, bizarre behavior, like, you know, running naked, climbing naked up a flagpole or something like that, you know.
Yeah, I tried to leave the hospital. That could be treated as bizarre.
That was Wingman. No. He was climbing naked up a flagpole.
Yeah, you can nobody leaves. Nobody leaves.
20 years ago. LAPD about 20 years ago actually shot a guy. It's a black guy who was naked, high on PCP. He's up on the flagpole, and LAPD shot him to death. Now, what kind of threat is a naked guy on the flagpole to death?
They shot him to death.
There must not have been Vaseline around, Pete.
Yep.
I did have that problem in the hospital. I went into, I didn't know there was a man's bathroom. I used to go into the woman's bathroom and wash myself there. They didn't mind that. They quite liked looking at me because I had a really nice body at the time. Carry on.
Hi, real.
But, you know, I just want to say that on that day I was a live wire and I knew it. And they can see it. The evil minions out there, when you're a live wire, you're shining like a beacon. I'm not kidding. And because there aren't many live wires out there, not to that extent, then it's hard. It's like you can sense what's happening around you. You can sense if someone's sinister in nature, you sense it a mile away.
That's why I don't go out much anymore, man. Everybody thinks I'm trying to mad dog them and want to fight me, you know? It's like, wow.
But like I say,
crazy.
When that happens, you light up on the grid, you know, and you can sense the flocking of the darkness coming towards you because they can see you, and that's why, you know, I reluctantly I'm very cautious with regards to when I, you know, spark up, light up kind of thing, call it what you want, because you stand out.
Yes, you do. That's true. So, like, when you go out, you always go out, wear a suit and a tie, and do your hair nicely, and they don't mess with you then. And you're quite tall, aren't you? So, like, they won't mess with you. That's what you do. They understand that. They're stupid.
I mean, I would imagine there's some listeners out there that know what I'm on about now, but with regards to when your energy levels go up, you will start to be confronted by more and more anomalous approaching individuals that are trying to disrupt. What's happening is the sinister side of aspects of things, or the forces, call it the evil forces. They try to disrupt your amplification. So as your energy is going up, what happens is that there will be disruption to try and pull you back down so that you don't spark up. And that's like a part of the program, if you want to call it that, you know?
I completely agree with that, yes.
But it's interesting, you know, looking beneath the circuitry of this reality, you start to see that there is like kind of systemic, how can I put it? There's like activation programs. I call it programs because it's easy to put into that analogy. But there's like things that happen when something happens to you in a certain situation. You know, it's like if you go to the doctor because suddenly you're hearing voices. There's a program that kicks in for that process, and so on and so forth. You know, and it's like when I first started waking up, there wasn't the internet around me to research what was happening, so it shook my foundations to the ground when I started to realise and started to become more and more extrasensory to, you know, this alternate reality that existed out there, this super sensory reality, and realising there was more to life. And because there was little out there, I did have a few shaky moments because one side of me was trying to come to terms with my conditioning through, you know, my childhood and early adulthood and what was the norm versus this other experience that I was having that wasn't so-called normal, you know, but yeah, I still was starting to believe was real. And I still, obviously now I do believe it was real. It was just another aspect of reality that I was not taught, or was taught to be fearful of, or think is mad, or, you know, so this coming to terms with what was real and what wasn't really was tricky, and there wasn't any support.
So emotions are a tool of the dark side and the light side. Emotions are like the middle ground. It's the tug of war is your emotions, basically. Mm-hmm. That's how you can be manipulated either way, emotionally. If you maintain, okay, this sounds kind of cold, but if you maintain indifference, you know, not caring left or right, up or down, go through life numb, you'll probably be pretty untouched. But on both sides, you're not going to have love or hate, you know? You're not going to have a mate nor an enemy. So
and you won't evolve either.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be stuck, motionless. So you have free will so you can grow, and you go through pain, trials, and tribulations so you can callous up to get to the next step, which is going to be more pain, more calluses, more trials, more tribulations. Yeah, it's going to hurt because you're getting older, but it's all for a reason, because we're eternal, straight up.
Do you feel old? You seem young, and Wingman, you're not that much younger than me, but you seem younger. But like because you seem happier. But so what do you feel like you're evolving correctly as things are going? You too.
That's a good question. You can go first, right? First.
I'm evolving big time because I'm hurting like a bitch. That means I'm evolving because I know we're going through that galactic fluff cloud right now, and I know these energies are just going nuts coming through that we haven't seen. None of our scientists know about. Come on, and
yes, they are. They are. But
so yeah, when I feel pain, I tell myself I'm evolving. And no, I'm not going to go to the emergency room. I'm gonna keep praying to the Creator, and I'm going to have faith in that. Because if I don't have faith in that and I go another route, that means I'm slapping the Creator in the face. So, and I've seen too many horror stories with hospitals lately, you know.
Yeah. Well, you is my brother. You're not allowed to do any of that sort of stuff. I'll come over there and slap you in a minute.
Yeah, there's some people that want to come over here and drag me to the hospital, man. Seriously, like from the station even. I'm like, no, I'm not going.
Well, I have to wait because the Wingman's got something to say as well.
I've always got something to say. Well, most of the time. I didn't the other day, actually. But that's because my head wasn't in the right place. Just before I do say, because you were talking about, risk and stuff, and I wrote down something here that I heard. I can't remember where I heard it, but it's basically to try is to risk failure. The greatest risk in life is to risk nothing at all. The person who risks nothing will have and become nothing. Only the person who risks is truly free.
Nice.
So it's going back to what you said, like, Rec, if you're neither hot or cold, then you'll just always be kind of warm and lukewarm or whatever. So, to experience the highs in life, you have to invite risk. That's just the way it is,
Right. If you don't try, you're going to die. So check this out, man. I guess you guys, when you did the Gray Zone last week, I didn't get to hear it. I was passed out. But I guess Seth wrote an intro, which I just got a copy of. I'm going to play that real quick if that's chill, Wingman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I'm curious. Sweet, Seth. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Oh, man. That's right.
So evolution, Hyro. So, you asked about evolution. Oh, yeah, that was it. What do we think? Yeah, I think I've done all right.
Oh, I think you've, I've enjoyed what you said. All of you. I
was going to say, evolutionary-wise, I think the key to making risk is important, but the risk is.
I am here to do Jacob's ladder. They don't usually understand what I'm talking about when I say Jacob's ladder. I am here to do the spiritual ladder. That is what I'm here for, and they don't get it.
Yeah. Well, for all we know, the whole name of the game is to evolve yourself out of this realm. I think that, I cannot rule that out as a very real possibility that you have to escape the Matrix, in other words. And for one to do that, then you have to evolve as an individual. And so even if that's a remote possibility that the name of the game is to evolve so that you can get out of this entrapment, then, I'm going to take that on as a real possibility and explore it. And I have been. And I can quite comfortably say that I'm in a tiny percentile of the most evolved people on Earth. I can say that because of the paranormal aspects I've been exposed to, because of what I've seen, because of what I understand with regards to the more sinister nature of things, not just theoretically, but in real terms that I've seen with my own eyes. Mm-hmm. And so I've had a lot of paranormal things to happen to me to suggest that the things that I've done, the experimentation I've done, the avenues I've dared to go down and explore, the rabbit holes I've gone down, have manifested a kind of other intelligence that didn't seem, hasn't seemed sinister at all, quite the opposite, that has answered back and told me, what you're doing is actually part of the process, you might say. And the things that kind of led up to that process being exposed to that super intelligence, if you want to call it that, is freedom, and no fear, risk, and overcoming
pain.
overcoming taboo-ness, overcoming, pain to some sort. But it's just another part of it is a kind of childless recklessness, an innocent recklessness, the reckless warrior within, that kind of stuff, And it does, a lot of it is involved a kind of innocence and wonder. And I think once you lose that sense of innocence and wonder and exploration and discovery, then ultimately I think it has a big impact on one's spiritual evolution, to be honest. I mean, I think I can quite comfortably say that. Now, I'm not saying that there's not many paths to the same destination, because I've heard a lot of people that are bookworms that have researched it all in books and found out, separated the wheat from the chaff with regards to the words. And they've come to a very similar place to I have from a theoretical point of view. And so it's always lovely to cross-correlate what they've learned and find out that the truths meet,
But usually, they're Wingman, they usually have just information and don't really understand what they've read. It seems to me like you understand what's happened.
No, they've understood what they've read. They've not just taken on board everything. They've managed to, using their own kind of discernment, to work out.
Get led into judgment patterns.
Yeah. But,
that's not
using their own.
You don't want to be judging, because we're all the same. We just all have our own niches,
No, I'm not.
There's another one they're rectifying, and you said pain before, and that unfortunately is a part of this physical world, that we do have to experience pain in order for our soul to experience it and our spirit can grow. We have to do it. But
some girls like being choked when they're in bed with you, so I mean that's weird to me. But yeah, I mean some people take pleasure in pain, but pain is definitely a hurdle that we all have to go through. It's part of life, as is death.
And the other interesting thing I've come across is whatever route you've come at things from, with regards to whether it's an academic or an experimental kind of approach like I've taken, you find that when you talk with people that are in the right place, if you want to call it that, then there's a kind of, you don't argue as much, I noticed, and it's like whoever you're with, you kind of, the truth is just like a sword, and it just comes out and it's natural, and you find that you're in agreement most of the time.
And then when you're not, all the time.
Yeah, and when you're not in agreement, it's easy to work out what the ambiguity is about. But I found that with a lot of people, as you meet more and more kind of evolved individuals, it's very easy to identify the truth. It becomes that much easier.
I forgot to mention Nick. He used to be a host here. He's a regular at Revolution Radio. Thank you very, very much, Nick, for sending me the MMS. I really appreciate that, man. You went above and beyond. I'm going to get on that regimen starting tomorrow. Once again, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like epoxy. It comes in 2 parts. You got to mix a drop, excuse me, of each, and it changes color, and then you add a gallon of water to it, and you drink a little bit of that every day, and it kills, I guess, every parasite and virus that might be existing in your body. So I'm going to give that a shot.
What's this stuff called?
MMS. Just if you looked up MMS cures in Google or your favorite search engine, you can find it. It's actually, I think it's sodium chloride and activator. I'll tell everybody. Let me get the listeners the right info. I'm not a doctor. I'm not advising this. Seek your physician.
Are the ingredients that if you buy, you're on an FBI watch list?
I don't care. He sent them in his name to my address. So he's a smart man. I really appreciate Nick and his knowledge and wisdom. Him and Dude Guy would make an awesome show together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sodium chloride, and the activator is citric acid. So you can use a lemon even to activate it.
I've been on a juice diet for the last week and a half, something like that.
Yeah, I did. I've gone off and on it. Every time it seems I go on it, my stomach gets really bloated.
Yeah.
So I'm laying back a little right now. It's like my liver got too much nutrients all at once and it went nuts. You know what I mean?
But I found I don't really need proper meals, to be honest. I mean, it seems like I'm alright on just the various juicing, yeah. And I'll have a sandwich now and again, but apart from that,
Right.
that's all I seem to need.
See, like a lot of us are going through this. Our diets have changed, our sleep schedules have changed, our work ethics have changed, the way we see money has changed, the way we use money has changed. I mean, I don't know if it's few and far between of us, but I know here at the station, I've talked to at least 4 or 5 of us that have gone through we're going through the same thing. You know what I mean?
For me, all of the above. But I can tell you that I'm not hurting as much as your body is. So, like, if that is a problem, I won't get that sorted because you are my brother, you know. Right. Even though you don't look anything like me. Not my brother doesn't even look like me.
From another mother.
So there we go.
Pete, what's on your mind? Spit in. You haven't said anything in a while.
Yeah, it's because I've been on mute. Okay.
I hate when people do that. But we all do it.
Well, you think any of these changes that we're perceiving have anything to do with Planet X?
I think more of the galactic fluff cloud, if you want to look that up, listeners. The galactic fluff cloud. We haven't been through it in, I think, a couple thousand years. So it's like one of them octopus arms coming off of our universe that we're flowing through. So, yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. It's making our sun go nuts, our weather go nuts, our animals that rely on magnetic directional function going nuts and dying. You know, women, they're driving worse. I'm just kidding.
Every couple thousand years, the Planet X comes by every 3,655 years. The last time was the Great Exodus.
You know, you need to talk to Terrell one day, Pete. You guys would have a great conversation. He's the basically the dark star expert here at the station.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you guys would go off back and forth. He's been pretty good at projecting. He goes by this 188-day cycle to where we have major tectonic fluctuations on Earth, you know, every 188 days, and he's been pretty damn close every time.
Gina, please put down the axe you're holding behind Rectifier's head right now.
You just made me turn around.
I went to bed an hour ago.
Oh, man. Yeah. Planet X, we're all gonna die. Whatever. I can't wait, man. Black Hole Sun was like one of my favorite songs by Soundgarden growing up as a teenager. That was a great song.
How do I post a picture on here?
You don't. It's radio, Pete.
Oh, okay.
You can describe the pictures for us if you want.
It's a picture of Rectify about 15 years ago. Not quite 15, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Save it to your desktop and then drag it into Skype.
No.
Yeah, I want to see that, Pete. Yes.
Gentlemen, give us a call. We have like 1 minute left. No, don't give us a call. I'm going to plug our sites again. We got the TheGrayZone Radio at YouTube, Free Revolution Radio at YouTube, Talk Revolution at Radio at YouTube, Talk Revolution Radio. And we are listener supported. We don't get paid. We're all volunteers here. Every engineer, every producer, every host. Okay, the money pays for infrastructure only. Power bills, bandwidth bills, server bills, replacement of hard drive bills, Hawk's time, maybe a little bit, man. He's getting paid like a fast food restaurant worker, doing IT work just to keep the station going. So visit us, freedomslips.com. You've been listening to The Gray Zone. We'll catch you again next Tuesday morning, 2 a.m. Peace out, everybody.
Pete is selling $15, 15 years ago, the picture of Rectus.
Radio at freedomslips.com. We'll be right back after this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hey folks, Captain Nighthawk here. Do you have a favorite host? Well, imagine if you all having all the broadcast shows from 2013 to listen to anytime you want. Awesome deal, huh? Anyway, so stop by freedomslips.com and order the entire 2013 library of your favorite host for just $30. Not only do you help with the station funding to keep us on the air, you also help the host because they get half of the net on every order. Also, we have Revolution Radio's all-time favorite shows all on one disc. The details are really broad, so you'll have to visit the website and go look at the details yourself. It's, again, www.freedomslips.com/season2013.htm. And get your favorites. First come, first serve, 7 to 21 days for delivery. Thank you. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, where information never sleeps, including me. Later.
We've got to stop them! They're going to kill us all!
This is the people's war. It is our war. We are the fighters. Fight it then. Fight it with all that is in us. And may God defend the right.
Warning! Warning! We've got to stop them! They're going to kill us all!
See how the trouble you've started?
Be they the government, be they industry, be they organized labor, be they anyone, or human beings. Time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, by all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported talk radio station, throwing ourselves upon the gears of the machine. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it. Right, you tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Revolution Radio!
Re-verify or arrange to target.
This incredible race of humans does have a future, and it is in the start.
I want the truth.
We are going out there to reclaim our rightful place.
Hi, this is Robert Pepino, host of the Whole Agenda Radio Show.